Microflow is something that traditionally expects we're going to hit, say, the database, we're going to do some heavy processing. Nanoflow is expectation we're doing it more like no server. We're going to use cache memory to deal with everything. So we're not going to do heavy commits, database retrieves, or other like. In this case, I'm going to use a Microflow just so we can talk about more when I get into the activities that you can do. I'm going to say it's an action where I'm going to update customer values, and then it asks for some settings. We can dive into those later, but ultimately, if I show the Microflow, you'll see it reads an awful lot like a Visio diagram, so I can sit with the business user, we can talk through it, and they can actually see the logic versus having to try to dissect lines of code. So we're passing in a customer. Let's say I don't want to pass in a customer. What I want to do is actually, I'm going to retrieve so I'm going to grab an activity box, and I'm going to say retrieve from the database all of my customers. Of course, I could have said first, I could have XPath constraint, so maybe I only wanted certain ones with a certain status. In this case, I want to go ahead and grab all of them. I'm going to, for each one, I'm going to iterate over each one. For each customer, what I'm going to do is let's retrieve by association my customer to invoice. So I want to get all their invoices. I'm going to stretch this out a little bit so we can add some more things. And then I'm going to take this invoice list and I'm going to aggregate my list of invoices. I'm going to sum them using the attribute current balance. And then what I'll do is go ahead and remember we can do all of our change, create, read, update, delete. This is all readily available to us. So I'll just change our object, and that's going to be my iterated customer. And we'll change their, I don't have a member to support that. So let's go ahead, hit OK. I'm going to right click, go to this entity, and I want to know what their total current due is. And I'll make that a decimal. And then I'll go back, and now I can change my total current due to my sum current balance. And then one last thing is I want to commit all of that. Nobody wants to commit in an iterator, so we do it outside the iterator. We're going to commit all of our customers. We're going to refresh our interface, and we should see all of the customers update with their current due, unless, of course, we didn't update the interface. So what I'll do is add a column right. I'm going to use my connector, double click, and it will add that. I can then reset my column widths. You'll see we have automatic consistency checking. Remember when I originally set this up, I was passing in a customer. It doesn't like the fact that I'm not passing that in any longer. So I need to go in, go to my Microflow settings. It says, hey, you don't need this anymore, so I'm no longer doing it. And we'll go ahead and say, great, now we're good to go. You'll see that we have change management. We've added these things, we've modified these things. I can make a pull, I can make a commit, I can see the history of everything that we've done thus far. If I run this again, we should be able to see this action in real time, see if we can't update the customer totals.